Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie Jennings from EJSLLC.com. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about my experience contributing to the Fedora project. Before I do, I want to thank returning subscribers for watching another video and want to encourage everyone who is watching but hasn't subscribed to click that subscribe button and ring the bell when you do so you can be aware when new content comes available. So a couple of weeks ago I talked about I'm going to get involved with the Fedora project. And in particular, I had found that I can get involved with their infrastructure. And so it's been a few weeks now, and I figure I'll give a little update as to what I'm doing with the project and what it was like getting started with it. And I figure every few weeks or so, or as there's some type of milestone, I'll give another little update to my progress and participation with it. First of all, I'm glad that I did this, even though I haven't done a whole lot. It's kind of nice being a part of the community as well as doing something that helps a project that I myself have used for a long time. Fedora is typically my daily driver OS on my laptop, and so it's kind of nice to contribute to the system that makes that happen. So the process of getting involved, they have some documentation, and I think it's fedoraproject.org/wiki, and you can drill down into that and find the infrastructure. But what I found is that it's not a very formalized process, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way it is. From what I have gathered, there really isn't any type of spoon feed onboarding thing that you would sometimes have in the company where, you bring on a new hire. Here's all of our systems. Here's what you need to do. Here's a list of tasks that we want you to do as the new person on the project, and go forth and conquer. With this, it's much more of, we want you to look around, look at open tickets, see what you would feel comfortable contributing to and such. And that struck me not necessarily as odd, but it's just a bit of a culture shock compared to actual company situations that I've been in. And of course, I come from the perspective of I don't want to touch anything until I know a good bit about it, because I don't want to break production in the whole bit. But the community is real encouraging to just go and look for something that is interesting to you. And so one of the first things that they encourage you to do is to look at some of their easy fix tickets, which those are not necessarily easy tickets, but it's tickets that have been flagged, something that if you're new to the project, it's a good starting point for you. And so there was one that involved cleaning up some Ansible playbooks. And really what was going on is they, about a year or so ago, they had a migration to a new data center. I think it was a year ago, just from what I recall from conversations. And there were some playbooks that still referenced the old data center. And so the task was to clean that up. And I jumped on that and did what I could, just because Ansible is something that's interesting to me right now with my RHCE preparation. And the community, in particular, Kevin, or Nirik in the IRC chat, Nirik, was quite patient with me in that process. I had a lot of questions about, is it okay to change some of this, or is it okay for some of these files to go away? Because from what I can see, some of the stuff doesn't exist anymore, but I don't want to, not know of something existing, submit a change to remove something from a playbook and then break everything. And so he was real patient with me with that. And also, coming from the Windows administration world, I really haven't done a whole lot with Git and source control. I mean, I have a little GitLab page, but pretty much it's just like pushing stuff up to master. I've never forked a repository and made my own branch and made a change and do a pull request and such. And so that was all new to me. And Kevin and other people in the IRC chat were patient with me as I was being real careful trying to get through some of the learning hurdles and such. If you're interested in getting involved with the project, one thing that I encourage you to do is to join some of the IRC chats, and they're all on the Libra chat service now. So I think it's libra.chat. Yeah, pretty sure that's what it is. I've set up WeChat, and I can't remember the server off the top of my head. But the chat room that you're going to want to be in for that is the #Fedora-admin channel, which that's kind of their main channel. A lot of the meetings they have are in IRC, and so it can be a bit intimidating to speak in those channels, just in the fact that it's kind of the normal experience for people that are new. You're not always going to jump right in, but they really encourage you to go in and ask questions. And so far, I haven't seen any questions just straight up ridiculed by the people in that chat. Now, granted, I would imagine they want you to ask informed questions and such as if I have a question about something, I try to look through documentation and their standard operating procedures and such to try to figure out an answer. But then if I don't have the answer, I contribute to the IRC chat and basically say, this is what I found, this is what I think is going on. Can someone give me some insight as to what's going on? And everyone has been real forthcoming and such with information. So I'll say in the first few weeks, my experience has been positive. I'm part of the Fedora Infrastructure Apprentice Group, which gives me some SSH access to stuff, which one of my plans in the next couple of days is logging in and looking around at things just to see if I can become aware of, what services are running on what servers, what's network configuration and such like, because one day, when I would like to be able to help if there's some type of outage or if there's some more more impactful administrative task that needs to be done. I want to be able to do that effectively. The last thing that I want to mention is the idea that I get that they're not interested necessarily in who can do the greatest, most impactful contribution. Any contribution that you can do, as long as it's useful for the project, they're happy with. For example, there was a wiki page when I was first trying to come to some of their meetings. I actually was an hour early for our meeting because something hadn't been updated for daylight savings time. So I asked, am I allowed to make that change on the wiki page? And the answer is yes. Now that was a minute change, but if someone coming to one of the wiki pages about Fedora infrastructure meetings, if they didn't see the change that I did, which is basically said it's, during daylight savings time, you will, the meeting is going to be at this time, then they would have been confused about the start time of a meeting. So not a huge change, but useful to the project. And I think that's the approach if you're wanting to get involved with contributing to Fedora, either with infrastructure as I'm trying to do, or with any other aspect of the project. Don't look to, change the world in a day. Look for small things that you can do that would contribute to it. So if you enjoyed this and would like to see more little kind of short blog videos about what I'm able to do with the community, feel free to like the video and leave comments and such with questions. I'll answer them as I both have time and ability. Thanks again for taking the time to watch. Thanks again for returning subscribers for watching another video. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you the next time.